Hey, this is Cameron, and welcome to the practice log. We have a lot to do today, so let's go ahead and jump into it, shall we? It's been like 12 hours. If you saw the last one, I explained my situation, I think. I am kind of going through like a breaky uppy sort of thing. Yeah, not much has changed. The only difference is I've taught a bunch of lessons, but that was actually nice. So I guess today I'm gonna work on the Morel and I'm gonna play whatever I feel like playing, and then we'll see what I go into when I go to the computer. We will see. I'm gonna take it easy for the next couple because my little heart can't take it. I would like to be out of this soon, though. I hate feeling like this. Okay, anyways, I've been taking this time to answer comment questions, so let's take a look at the comments section. So here's one that I actually wanted to address. This relates to the guitar piano wars. So this is from Seeming Music. Hey, what's going on? Friend of the channel. So you said, let's settle this with a guitar v piano gang fight. Whoa, okay. Is that what it is now? Alright, it's been many videos and I think it's time we address why you always call it a piano bench. That's actually, I never really thought of that, but I do disrespect the piano quite a bit because, I mean, it deserves to be. Especially in schools and stuff, piano is the instrument that everybody's forced to learn, even if they already play a chordal instrument. I had to learn how to play piano in school, and I don't think it helped me with anything, and I think it was a waste of time, and I wish I could have practiced guitar with that time. Or learned a different instrument, like a cooler instrument. But yeah, I do call it a piano bench. That is really weird. A part of me feels like calling it a piano bench is almost like disrespectful to the piano, so I think I'm still gonna call it that. I do believe that the bench is the best part of that instrument. If I ever have like a couple of G's laying around, I would love to buy like a really, really awesome piano bench, like a Steinway. That's like the only reason to have a piano, is so you get a piano bench that you can practice guitar on. Oh, you mentioned my mic too. Is that the Rode NT1A? What happened to the Denty Boy? The Denty Boy is still in use. I use it for teaching now. I spilt too much beer in it and I dropped it too many times and it like barely works. So I think this one works better. Unfortunately, there's no high pass filter built into it, so now I have to process my audio like I'm somebody who like does stuff. Okay, so this is actually more on the piano thing, I guess. So this one's from Al Wicks. What's up, man? Friend of the channel. I really wish I could give out like Reddit tokens or something that was like friend of the channel, because I would. I feel like there's like 15 of you that I like would. I don't know, maybe I should make a list or something. A friend of the channel list. Yeah, so you're talking about my Boss Rootin' video. Yes, Boss does have a point. As a guitarist, never turn your back to the audience. People could choke you out in the middle of a concert, and that's why you should never turn your back to an audience. Piano has got to be the strongest instrument, but half the audience can attack the pianist from behind. Who's laughing now, pianist? True. What a weak instrument. I want to say the solution to that is maybe a keytar, but we're kind of getting into the realm of guitar, which, like, you know, if you're gonna play that, you should at least play a syntax or something. What was I talking about? I'm glad there's no clock around me because I've just been on my phone for like 10 minutes answering comments. There's a lot of discussions to be had in the next couple of logs, so I'm excited about that. I got them all saved on my phone now. I forgot what we were talking about. Guitar and piano wars? Well, guitar wins. Did I clear that up? Guitar won. So I think we're about ready to go ahead and jump into the practicing part. Let's go practice now. After reading all those lovely comments, I almost forgot that I'm supposed to be sad right now. But I am, don't worry. But I am gonna practice, so I will be getting to that now. So I'm gonna start on the Morel. I'm probably mainly gonna focus on that, to be honest. We will see where we end up. I will see you on the other side. Put some decent work into the Morel Sonata, mainly movements 1 and 3. We're not pushing it today. I'm kind of just playing for fun right now, just kind of enjoying myself, playing stuff I know. So, why don't I bring you closer? I'm going to play the third movement for you. I'm just going to have the page that I'm least comfortable with open, and I think that I'll be forgiven for that. But needing sheet music for this one is on its last legs, I'm telling you. third movement. I think I played all the repeats in that one. Mostly from memory. I probably could have played that from memory. You know, there's obviously some stuff that needs to be worked on, but I think I will probably have that worked out in the future. This is just another day in the office, you know? Like, you're not always productive. But I clocked in, and I put in some hours, and we're done with that now. Movie time. Yay. No music theory today, don't worry. You guys get a break from that. Alright, well, let's get back into our movie here about Manuel Barrueco. Am I right? Oh my god, I already forgot. It's been a little while since we watched this, and we've only done one episode so far. Alright, well, let's get into it.
And I just fell in love with the guitar. I just thought it was the most beautiful thing, and I asked for lessons.
Dude, facts. And, taking lessons? He asked for lessons, guys. That's a point deducted from the self-taught team.
So when I was 9 years old...
Is that little Manuel right there? Aww.
Relationship with my teacher, Manuel Push. I remember the first time I played in public in one of the student concerts, and I remember thinking I was walking into another dimension. So afraid. And it's not afraid of not playing well, because I think when you're a child, that's not what you're afraid of. I was going to be there and everybody was going to be looking at me.
Dang, that's kind of a lot of people. And again, all these old photos of crowds watching classical guitarists. Does this not look like a Muse album cover right here? Except he represents the government or something?
But, on the other hand, there were a lot of rewards I came from that because I got a lot of compliments. I mean, I did, you know, so it was kind of the price to pay. And I wonder even to this day why psychologically I do what I do, because I don't feel that I do it easily. I think I kind of struggle with it.
That's good to hear that he struggles with it. Because I can only imagine, like, the pressure. We see, like, John Williams and Julian Bream. Like, I know they're John Williams and Julian Bream, but when they're playing, like, on some gigantic TV platform, surely there is still pressure. And they know that it's like, if I screw this up, like, this could completely ruin my reputation. Like, they have that in their mind. That's, like, the worst part. Which is funny, because when I used to play for you guys, like, when I started doing this, I would get super nervous to record, but what I just played for you there, I didn't even think about it. Like, because I'm so used to it now. So I guess you just kind of get used to it.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Even before a concert, I go to play a concert, and I keep thinking, why in the world, you know, would anybody want to come to listen to this?
Ooh. That's a rough reality to face. Now that's a nice piano bench. I hope they zoom in on it.
Afro-Cuban Dance by Ernesto de Cora.
Shout out to Cuban Gang. I'm Cuban. Half Cuban. We don't talk about the other half.
Well, I am originally from Santiago de Cuba. So the first rumblings, the first things that I heard about Castro and the revolution must have been when I was about 6 years old, 6 or 7. Well, with the revolution there was a big change, but it was not until Castro declared himself a communist that our lives would really change forever.
Is this mother effer Cuban? Did we come into that not knowing that? Hey, Cuba! That's where my dad is from. Look at that. He escaped from Castro too. My dad was probably alongside him. He was a similar age too. I think they immigrated after my dad did. That's kind of interesting. Shout out to my dad if you're watching. Are you watching, Dad? Oh man. That's gonna be embarrassing if you're not.
I remember the day the revolution won the troops of Castro, and I remember the day the troops came into the city. And I remember from the second floor balcony where we lived, looking down and seeing these guys dressed in green with long hair and beards, and people like Che Guevara and this.
Yeah, it was just me.
I just remember a feeling of euphoria. I remember how nice
yeah, I'm sure you did, man. When I showed up, everybody gets all euphoric.
They were to everybody. How they were like angels, you know. That's how we felt to me at the time.
Thank you.
Began
Is he talking about something like crazy right now and I'm just not listening?
Revolution won the troops of Castro and...
Wait, hold on.
Hey, you know that...
Okay, I'm making jokes. I'm not entirely clear what he's talking about, whose side these soldiers were on. We're gonna move past it.
And then things began to change, you know. The one threat that seems to be, from that point on in my life, is just a lot of fear. We were living now in a system that did not allow a dissent. You couldn't speak against it, you would be punished if you did. And I happened to have a mother that didn't seem to be able to control herself, and I fear for her.
Wait, you're saying he was euphoric from the troops. It sounds, was that like misplaced?
Something would happen to her. But you know, when you're a child, it's very intense, you know, and I was very afraid.
Yeah, that sounds scary. I don't know about the whole euphoria talk. Alright, I I have no idea what to do with that. I don't know how to even approach that. I'm glad I'm Cuban. I feel like I can at least say something on that. If I weren't Cuban, I would have cut all of that. I would have not left any of that in there. My speaking, not him, of course.
How could you live in a place that did not accept what you thought, who you were? Then after a couple of years, after the biopics and all these things, when it seemed pretty clear that things were not...
God, this is like, I should have paid attention in history. I missed out on so much education because of music classes. Bay of Pigs. What even is that? Bay of Pigs invasion. Let's make a pilgrimage to the JFK library. Okay, on April 17th, 1961, botched invasion at the Bay of Pigs of south coast of Cuba. Alright, the original invasion plan called for 2 airstrikes against Cuban air bases. A 1,400-man invasion force would disembark under cover of darkness and launch a surprise attack. The main force would advance across the island to Matanzas, the invasion. Alright, so the first mishap occurred on April 15th when the 8 bombers left Nicaragua to bomb Cuban airfields. Whoops, was that a mistake? It sounds like that's what you guys were trying to do. The CIA had used obsolete World War II B-26 bombers. Ooh, blunder, what a blunder. You fools, used obsolete B-26 bombers? What are you guys, freaking cavemen? What are you doing? And painted them to look like Cuban Air Force planes. Guys, that is insane. That was the first mistake, huh? The bombers missed many of their targets and left most of Castro's Air Force intact. As news broke of the attack, photos of the repainted U.S. planes became public and revealed American support for the invasion. President Kennedy canceled a second airstrike, and it revealed that we had cartoonishly silly plans. We used crappy airplanes and we missed, and then that messed everything up. Over the next 24 hours, Castro ordered roughly 20,000 troops to advance towards the beach, and the Cuban Air Force continued to control the skies. President Kennedy authorized an air umbrella, in quotations. What is that supposed to mean? Well, let's find out. At dawn on April 19th, 6 unmarked American fighter planes took off. Yeah, they were unmarked this time. They didn't do the old paint job on them. Hopefully they weren't like paper airplanes or something. They used some modern tech. The planes arrived an hour late. Jesus, guys. Most likely confused by the change in time zones. Guys, I work with time zones. You couldn't even get that right. They were shot down by the Cubans and the invasion was crushed later that day. Well, they certainly made it easy on them. Well, that's the Bay of Pigs, everybody. But a history lesson on sore hands, aren't you glad? Don't you like learning history from someone who's like also learning it in the very moment? So that was that. Let's keep going.
It took about 5 years between the time that my family applied to leave to actually to the time that we were allowed to leave. During that time, I'm not exactly sure how we survived. To leave my hometown in the train could perhaps be the most painful experience I had in my life, to leave there.
Yeah.
It was leaving behind family, friends, a sister, my brother-in-law who I dearly loved him. He came inside the train, he didn't come with us and he had to leave and we were trying to say goodbye to each other. We couldn't, we were just crying so much. It was impossible. So I still remember the gesture that he made that said, sorry, I can't talk, and he left. And then from there we went to the place called the Fishbowl, which is the place where they process you so you could leave the country and from where you would fly. And then from there we left in a taxi, my sister left behind, and I still remember looking back and seeing how, waving at her. And, God.
Yeah, guys, anyways, so, I'm kind of bummed out today, too. This guy had to leave his family and his home, but, somebody doesn't like me anymore. Yeah. So.
We're going into the airplane to come to the U.S. And as soon as we got into the airplane and we took off, I just realized that the fear was lifted. I no longer fear that something would happen to my mother or something would happen to me. There was a period of euphoria.
You guys just feeling euphoric all the time, huh? Can I get some of that? Can I get some of that euphoria, please? That's a good place to leave this one off, I'd say. Yeah, it's a pretty good one. Pretty fun. Well, I mean, that wasn't fun at the end, but pretty interesting. So, let's go ahead and wrap this one up here. Come on. Alright, well, hopefully you enjoyed all that. And if you made it this far, be sure to subscribe, leave a like, all that stuff. And as always, if you have any questions about anything, be sure to leave them, or if you just want to say hi, that's fine too. You can comment anything you want, within reason. Alright, well, I'll see you tomorrow.